Welcome to North Hudson Public Works Utility Committee meeting on Tuesday, March 22nd at 2022 at 5:30 p.m. Call to order. Roll call, please.
Chair Pike.
Here.
Trustee Matz.
Here.
Trustee McGurran.
Here.
Item number 2 is approve the minutes. Need a motion.
Move to approve the minutes from the February 15, 2022 Public Works meeting.
Second.
Any additions or corrections?
No.
Patrick, we're going to talk about the tree trimming message in the minutes.
Refresh my memory. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. It was about the distances and things that for the trees that needed.
The vision triangle.
Yes, thank you.
Yep. I guess I could post that on the website somewhere so that people see it.
Yeah, so maybe what we want for the correction of the vision is that, or the correction of the minutes is that the vision triangle details will be posted. Because I'm not, were they accurate in the minutes? That was my question, because it was kind of confusing when I read it.
Yeah, it was accurate, yeah.
Okay, all right, well then we don't need to change them.
Okay. Any other thoughts on the minutes?
No.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Passed. Item number 3, comments from the floor. No folks are here tonight. Item number 4, Riverside Drive North Sanitary Sewer Lift Station Control Panel Replacement. Discussion and possible recommendation.
So I'm going to table that and we'll put it for next month. I got the last of my bidding at 5:15. So, and that's something I think it's going to be, or it's a possible ARPA funding expenditure. So we're not in a rush. Everything's working down there. So I'll just, once I can get everything gathered up and get it into something that we can all look at and it makes sense, we'll just put it off until next month.
Okay. Which takes us to item 5, spray patching of village streets, discussion and possible recommendation. So this was in our email. He says we've received 2 bids. The third doesn't offer spray patching service. He's got Allied Blacktop and their per hour rate, and Farner asphalt sealers and their per hour rate. Do you have a preference?
For spray patching,
Yeah.
my preference would be to go with the county on that. I went and got actual numbers, or I called and got actual numbers today. They are $342.50 per hour
Okay, so
compared to $409 and $575.
so that wasn't on the issue statement, that option.
Because they don't compete with private entities.
Okay. So is it in here?
I
Is that the per day rate?
think I sent it, yeah.
You sent it per mile, I think it was per mile that we have from the county.
But for the
That
spray
was the
patching?
seal
is-
coating, yeah, the AMZ
per
spray
day.
patching. It says $4,500 per day, but that's not really accurate. That's for the 2-man machine, so I called and got the specifics because they use the machine that just 1 man runs. Then I got the price of oil, the price of rock, what they charge for the machine, all that, and added that up, and it came to $342.50.
You have no interest in doing it again yourself this year?
We can. I'm not gonna say no, that we shouldn't. I still think that we can do it. My only issue is if we don't get another person soon, it's gonna be a struggle. And I did figure out, for us renting the machine, now this is the rock, the oil, and the machine rental for 28 days. That's not including fuel or manpower, comes to $120 an hour.
120 an hour?
Yeah.
So based on this calculation you have here and what our budget is, how many miles are we gonna get?
I'll be able to do the whole village. Whatever needs doing, we'll be able to do with that.
Everything that needs doing.
But I would like, I don't know, if you want to say, to go with the county and then as well, labor permitting, that we also could, if we stay within budget, I definitely will not go over budget. If we have the time and, to rent our own machine again.
Okay. Questions? Thoughts?
I like the idea of keeping it in-house. I mean, that'd be my preferred if we can find you help.
Yep. That's the thing, is that I'd love to say that we could, and I'm pretty sure that we could, but if we get a storm, like we did last year, it just
Right.
throws you on your ear, which
Well,
nobody's gonna predict that.
And we were doing the Highway 35 project, that took a lot of time out of you.
Yeah.
I mean,
It'll be better this year.
I think so too.
Yeah,
We do have 2 other street projects going on, though.
Yeah, but they're not 35.
yeah,
They're not
no,
35.
they're much smaller. Yeah, no, I agree, and I guess my suggestion would be is, I agree with Phil. That's what I've always tried to do, is we should be doing the work because we're here. So if we, labor permitting, budget permitting, that we rent the machine and do that, then I'm all for it. But in the case that we can't, if things don't work out, I would go with the county. I've actually had them doing some now, like some emergency stuff that needed to be filled, so I am using them now.
Okay. Any other thoughts, questions? If not, I need a recommendation.
One question, Patrick. So if you were going to have it done by the county, I mean, at what point do you need to make that decision so that you can get on their schedule? I know as you're looking at hiring and the
I'm already on the
capacity.
schedule.
Oh, you, okay. All right.
I went out on a limb.
We had to, I mean,
Sure, that makes sense.
I have to tell them.
Otherwise, we're not gonna get 'em scheduled.
Yeah, okay, yep.
And if I say, yeah, we're gonna do it, and then, we have our meeting and it's decided that we're not, then I just call them we're not, and it's okay with that too, so.
And so on the budget that we have for this year, this is the seal coating, the 45,000 for seal coating?
No, this would be the spray
Spray patch.
hot patching, spray
Hot pa-
patching.
The 20,000 for hot patching?
Yep,
So is that, so it'll be a do not exceed 20,000?
nope. I don't like to spend everything.
Well,
Do
that's
not-
Just in case something happens, I fear, and then, I have gotten burned in the past if something comes up or, a contractor is here and oh geez, we should fix that. Now they've spent the $20,000 and then I have to come back to you and say, hey, we need to take, and I don't wanna do that, so that's why I go below.
So what's what are you asking us
I
to
think it
approve?
was 17,000. Yep.
Sorry, thank you.
I believe that's what I put in my, oh no, I'm sorry, it's 18. Sorry, I apologize. Because I wrote that, and you guys did see the letters that I sent out.
yep.
I think I sent those. Or I included them in your email. So it is 18, yep.
Any other questions? If not, I need a motion.
I move to approve the spray patching in the amount up to $18,000 to be done internally or through agreement with St. Croix County.
second.
All right. Any other comments? If none, spending issue, Phil?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
And yes for me. That passes. Next item is the street sweeping contract for the village, discussion and possible recommendation.
Yeah, so I apologize on that one again too, because I didn't hear back. There are not a lot of sweeping companies out there, and they're a ways away. So I'm pretty sure you guys got the McPhillips, or I sent you that?
Yes.
Okay. I did speak to Supreme Sweeping in Eau Claire. He won't start his machine for anything less than $1 or $160 an hour. And that would be plus a mobilization fee. And he said that that is basically the going rate. He was going to send me written confirmation of that, but he also told me that he's pretty busy with what he's got, so I guess he got busy or whatever. If you want to hold off on this until I get actual confirmation of that, we can do that, or
So McPhillips is the one that's done it every year, right?
for many years.
Many
Yep.
years, right?
Yep. And it's, I mean, yeah, it's an increase, but he's never, since I've been here, it's been very small increases. He's not out to, I guess for lack of a better word, gouge anybody or anything like that. He keeps his rates fairly steady. He just, like this year, it just, I mean, driving back from Florida, down there, fuel was $5.50 a gallon. I mean, that's gone up. Parts have gone crazy if you can get them. You know, it's a strain on everyone. So I don't think that increase is out of line, is my thought.
When I'm looking at the budget, it looks like we didn't do any actuals for street sweeping in 2019 or 2020, and we didn't budget it for 2021 or 2022. Is that correct?
No.
It's when I'm looking at the street sweeping line, so.
There's nothing in street sweeping.
Right,
Yep, because it comes out of the 215 fund,
okay,
storm sewer.
okay, thank
Yep,
you.
there's always, every year, there's $9,500 in there, and that stays in there.
Thank you.
Yep.
You okay? Any other questions? Thoughts? If not, I need a motion.
I move to go with McPhillips Inc. for our street sweeping needs
At 115 per hour.
at 115 per hour.
Second,
All right, again, it's a spending issue, so, Mary?
do we need a not to exceed?
No.
Yes,
Yes.
And yes.
Hey, I'm not sure if we can do this, and I apologize for interrupting, but there's,
That passed. Go ahead.
yeah, oh, sorry, I just, we need to do the seal coating,
It's not on the agenda.
and it's not on the agenda, so I guess I'll have to wait.
So,
I
how
screwed
about
up.
we, since we have it here, in front of us, why don't we go ahead and discuss it?
Discuss it.
No, I don't even think I can discuss it without, we could discuss it under your director report, I guess.
Okay.
Let's take it up then. All right,
Sorry
that
about
takes
that.
us to item number 7, review and discussion of concept plan for Zappa. I assume that's these maps we got here, Kevin?
Yeah, so just wanted to, after our last plan commission meeting, or public works meeting, you went in front of the plan commission and there was a lot of discussion about street widths again. So,
Yeah?
so we thought we better bring it back just one more time in front of this committee and revisit that, because there was quite a bit of discussion on that. So, like we talked about before, the ordinance requires a 36-foot wide street. And then we have, those exhibits that we looked at the last time.
Yep.
So, and that's consistent with what the Derrick subdivision has currently. But we wanted just to see open that discussion up again to see if, this committee would consider going something less than that. Our thoughts were to at least still provide two-way parking along both sides. So if you look at our layouts, a 34-foot street would provide that. Anything less than, then you're down to basically one-side parking. So there was talk about eliminating a lot of the sidewalk, because they basically are going to, Cradley Lane, which doesn't have, a connection, walk there, and then up on the north end, out into the township. Basically, they would just be providing something from that pathway that was stubbed out for derricks, and then run in, where the stormwater pond was, the grassed area, and then maybe have a circle sidewalk in that internal area. Other than that, there wouldn't be anything additional.
Are they still going with 2 cul-de-sacs?
Nope, they're actually gonna be connecting the two together.
Is it gonna be a teardrop or just a road?
We talked about eliminating that teardrop and just have that.
Okay.
Yep, the connection road are all around.
And are we getting the connection to the southeast?
Yes, yep, that was, yep.
What's it gonna be?
Basically, it's down on that southeastern side.
Where those little numbers are?
Yeah, down in that area, yep.
Okay, and so when I say what's it gonna be, is it gonna be an actual road stubbed in?
So the discussion is the right-of-way would be established, but it's a matter of, does the road get put in right away? We talked about at least providing like the end radiuses, the stub road into there, but not actually physically building the road to the
So
property.
we'd have you're saying we'd have the dip for a road to go through?
Yeah.
And a, what do you call it? Going into any driveway, what do you call that?
Apron?
Apron. Going back, so, and some kind of an apron going back a little bit?
Just be for the curb radiuses for the future road, and then, that's where the asphalt would end. At least people would know, the potential new owners would see that out in the field.
So, and why wouldn't we just put the road in?
We would look at doing the utilities for sure, but the road was talked about not putting in right away.
So if you got utilities, why wouldn't you put the road in?
Well, okay, so if you put a road in, and sorry, I don't mean to
No,
speak
go ahead.
over you,
Jump-
but
jump
if we
in.
put a road in, we're gonna run into the little stub road that we have at 10th and Vale Way that, we like to use for snow plowing or whatever, but, it ends up becoming a, landscaping contractor parking lot. And then it just gets tore up, and then we have to repair it. We don't know how long it'll be before the,
True.
it gets developed,
How
so.
about gravel?
I don't know.
I'm not looking
And
for.
then you'll have weeds, and then we gotta try to figure that out. At
That's
least if
true.
it's grass, we could mow it,
We've got enough gravel up in that area anyway.
yeah. So, I guess that was my discussion with Kevin, as long as it's established that is ours, it's not.
And is it gonna be clear that that's the thing,
Yeah, it
I
would be,
believe
with
so,
the
yeah.
utilities that you have to install, that's gonna be,
Can you just put up barricades at the end of that stub road then, so people can't
Yeah,
drive past it?
we could do,
Yeah.
we can do something to
Put up,
stop
and then
people.
if you make them temporary, so you can move them out of the way to get
Yeah.
through, but leave them up
Yep.
so that,
Sure.
is storm sewer going in as part of the utilities?
yeah. Yep.
So, just grates then, or?
That'd be, like you see up in the Derrick development, you have inlets, manholes, and then it all ultimately drains into the
There's no
ponds.
curb here though, right?
There would be curb.
Oh, you would put curb down the stub road?
Nope,
Oh, no.
nope, not a,
All right, so I'm thinking about, are we putting stormwater down the stub road?
Oh, probably not, huh?
yeah,
We're
depending
putting
on,
sewer and water down the stub road, but we're not putting storm sewer down the stub road?
depending on how the final grades end up. I mean, if it's gonna drain all towards the west, then no, you wouldn't.
Okay,
But if it drains to the east, well then, that's all stuff that'll be coming in front of the, you know, the committee again, the final construction plans for your review.
Yeah.
But again, they're still, you know, in the concept stage. Plan commission's
Okay.
looked at it. They gave them their comments and they're moving forward.
So is this coming back to us one more time since they're
Yeah.
still in? Okay,
It will.
that's fair enough.
Can you explain to me what's a villa again? What are they considering a villa?
They're a very narrow width lot.
Like still a single family home?
Yes. Yeah.
1 car, 2 car garage?
2-car garage.
Okay.
They're proposing only a 5-foot side yard setback, so those buildings are gonna be really
Right on
close
top
to
of each other. It's like row housing.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. Apparently
Curious.
those are the new things that people are like to see.
Double income, no kids.
Thanks, huh?
So if the requirement is a 36-foot street, what are we talking about doing less?
Basically the width.
Right, but I mean, why are we talking about doing less than the requirement?
It's just, it was, you know, a lot of discussion at the plan commission. We just thought we'd bring it back one last time.
There is, well, it will save a little bit of money for somebody, correct? That would be the contractor.
Right,
It gives them a little more lot size. So those are, and then there are studies out there that say the narrower the streets, the more safe they are because it'll slow down traffic. And there are disputed studies that say just the opposite. So,
I mean, we have a 36-foot standard. If that isn't what we want, then we should change that,
Just with, you know, this is gonna be rezoned to a PUD,
okay?
plan unit development, so there's variances, or you can do, you know, they're gonna look at having smaller side yard setbacks. So that's where all these things come into play. You can deviate to what's required.
and once we start doing a PUD, that gives them the option to ask us for all these other.
Got it.
Yep.
So it takes away the requirements.
Doesn't really. I mean, I think that's still up to the village board, but
I mean, so they're coming to us saying, look what we're gonna do for the village. We're gonna do this nice and neat and organized versus selling it off one lot at a time and all these different kinds of houses, and it's gonna look like atrocious. This is what we'll do. What can you do for us? That's what that PUD is supposed to do.
there's that too.
Okay?
But they
And-
needed the PUD for the villas, no doubt.
I guess you know, when I look at what we've set as our requirements, and there would have to be a good interest for our village and our citizens and our future planning to change that. And the same thing with the sidewalks. I feel so strongly that, and based on comments that were made at the previous meeting, I've taken a look at that, and sidewalks are safer for pedestrians. Sidewalks are safer for children and older people, and even people like me who walk at night and take their lives in their hands to walk home at night when there isn't a sidewalk. And so I would be really reluctant. I understand there isn't someplace that it's going at this moment,
Yep.
but it is for the people in that neighborhood or people that are visiting that neighborhood and walking there. And at some point, the village may expand, as it has, past that point, and then there's no sidewalk.
Right.
We're stuck. We're stuck with an automobile village.
So what we got is, there are residents, if you watch those meetings he's talking about, that are sitting on the planning commission even,
Yep.
that are basically saying, I don't wanna have to shovel my sidewalk, and I don't wanna have to take care of it, and so that's the argument you're gonna run into. Personally, I don't mind sidewalks, but I also understand the frustration with those that have to clean them.
You don't have one.
I don't have one.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I do too, because I had a corner lot for many years. I understand it's a lot of work, but I also understand it's how you get a livable place. It's a livable community. It's a community where people have more than one option, and it improves safety for families. So I just,
Where are you at on sidewalks?
Sidewalks? I'm a fan of sidewalks, not gonna lie.
Okay,
If you
so.
go to road width, like, I don't know.
I cannot give up that road width. I just don't.
The only
believe it.
thing, the only thought I had on road width is there's absolutely zero way I would give up road width where there's townhomes. You start getting so dense of people, like
Right.
you need that two side of the street parking.
That
But
was-
maybe in the single family home area, maybe you could go down to one sided street with no parking on one side. Maybe.
I don't know. I just like us to be consistent.
Well, I
And we
mean,
were-
you set a precedence already on
Did
one
Derek
side.
have a PUD?
Yes,
Did they ask us to
they didn't.
shrink those roads? They just went with the standard.
Yep.
It just seems to me it would look overall the same. And as far as our guys go, you know, when it comes to plowing, the wider the better.
Well, I mean,
And unless it's a no parking at all, and they can take one swipe at the whole street and be done with it, I could do that, but we couldn't do that to them up there, no parking.
That'll never
I-
work.
Well, Gary did mention that he could provide some off-road parking somewhere, but I don't think I'd wanna walk
Never work.
from way down here all the way up to here.
Right.
You'd have to provide quite a bit of that.
Who's
Yep.
putting in a parking ramp?
Yeah.
Well, and you're the same situation then with people that have mobility issues. They're not gonna be able to get where they need to go if you got their parking down the street.
Yeah.
So, anything else from you?
No, we thought we'd bring it back.
And the ponds, did we do anything with the ponds?
Yep, we talked about that. They're gonna try to minimize the amount of them that's shown on the concept plan.
So there's less than these 6?
That's what they're working towards.
Okay.
Yep, with their construction plans and,
I'm not as scared of them as you are.
I hate mosquitoes.
Bad.
Yeah, and they're also not safe, and the person who
And there's
was,
that.
who was here, they're not, and the person who was here was saying, oh, you know, they don't need any maintenance, and I'm sorry, I find that really hard to believe.
right.
that's not true.
Yep.
Yeah,
It is
thank you.
not. We've already learned that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, the one that we had down at the shop yards, it disappeared when a year or two of silt just kind of filled it right back up. And then the water's running right down the road.
Right. Yep, they
So-
require maintenance.
Yeah, they require maintenance, so, are there discussion about the maintenance of these ponds being done by the planning commission?
Yeah, there was discussion. The way they like to see it proceed is, you know, there would be like a homeowners association that actually would own, operate, and maintain those, instead of the village having to step into.
Okay, I really think it's important that somebody is responsible besides the village for maintaining those things.
Yep. And there would be something on the plat that would call out, should that homeowners association, they're not taking the correct action, then the village can step in.
And
then
charge them
special
back? Okay, perfect. So you gonna make that clear to them from us? I think we all want that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And there was some discussion about some of this being DNR protected, and that was wetlands, and so I was not clear, like, where that was in
Is
this.
that
The green
is that
space.
the green spots?
Yeah, they're hard to, there's one in that center.
Yeah, right in the center, it says
Area.
wetlands, you see that?
So that's DNR protected? That's what that means?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
been delineated, so yeah, you can't go in and disturb it or fill it or.
And the same with the green going up there?
There was 2 areas that they called
Well,
out.
there's
There's
4
a
green
whole bunch
spots.
of green spots,
The
yeah.
one real big one going right down the middle with the water hole, okay?
Yep.
And then 2 to the right,
Yeah, there's another one that's on that, it's the area that's shaded, that yellow. It's kind of mid-block on the eastern side. It's hard to see there, but it is called out as a wetland.
oh. that's
So they're
kinda-
not consistently marked on here.
Yeah, maybe you could ask them to change the color of that little spot there.
Yeah, that'll, you know, once they,
I can see it now that you pointed it out.
yeah, it's labeled there, but it's tough to see by all means.
And then there's one in the upper left corner too, where that other pond is, so. Okay, so I think, are you asking for a recommendation from us on?
I mean, you made a recommendation the last time, and if you
Right.
stand by it, then
Standard
there's
road
no.
widths, sidewalks, and a stub road so we can move out that our public works department will block.
Can we get those in the minutes? Can we like take a vote and get it like clearly stated, that's what we want?
Well, it's on camera too.
I know, that happened last time, but when I go back and read the minutes, I'm like, okay, what was really
Okay.
decided? Because
I
that's the
just want to
official
make sure you
record.
get clarification.
It's the
You've got
official
road
record.
widths, you've got sidewalks, and what was the third thing that you said?
The stub road.
Stub road.
Stub road?
Yep, to the
Is
east.
that to the
southeast.
So to connect with Cratley or someplace else?
No, it's for future,
Okay, for future development?
yep.
Okay, thank you.
And then, what was the other one? We're concerned about the safety and the maintenance of the ponds. So those are our thoughts. So there's 3 votes here, for 36. Just pointing that out. Okay, anything else, Kevin, on this?
Nope, that's it.
All right, where was I? Bipartisan infrastructure law discussion and possible recommendation.
Yeah, so talked about this the last meeting, and what we were looking at is the Monroe Street project.
Yep, so we have the paperwork, you guys got that one?
Yeah, so this just highlights, the limits we were looking at from Lemon Street to Helen Street, that stretch. And then,
It's nice to have a map so we get the names right.
and then down below gives you an idea, we were looking at doing a sidewalk on the north side of the road. That is only 50-foot right-of-way in there,
Okay,
so it's,
we're taking up 5 feet of it then, right? For the sidewalk.
yep.
Are you okay with that, Patrick? Okay.
I mean, we never get to the curb anyways, so.
And the Lemon Street, it's right in front of the school here that we have some
Yeah.
curb that's problematic? Okay. Just wanted to make sure I understood that.
So this stretch, it's got older sanitary sewer in there, it's clay tile. There's only,
Did you find out how much clay we got in the whole village? I'm guessing there's a lot.
there's
Yeah.
probably still a number of it left. We've been chipping away with the projects and stuff that we've been doing,
I
but
think it's
And is it water or sewer?
sewer.
sanitary
Sewer.
sewer, yeah.
And we, didn't we do a televised project of all of our sewer lines at one point in time?
Yeah. that
Which
was
would
a
actually show how much clay we've got?
Long time ago.
It was when we first started.
I've got the
wasn't
VHS tapes if you'd like me to bring them over.
it? Well, you can take them to a guy in River Falls I know who will turn them into DVD, first of all. They'll last longer.
So this would be a total reconstruct.
And what's the total cost here? Is that on here?
So then on the second page,
Whoa.
these are all the items, sanitary sewer, water main, storm sewer, and then street construction on that last page. And then if you look down at the bottom, so just like 35 project, the village would have to pay for all the water main and sanitary sewer at 100%.
Yep.
And then the street and the storm sewer would be at 20. So when you add those two up, then it's just under 500,000 for the village share. And then the DOT, which is at that 80%, would be just under 600,000.
Do we know what numbers we've got to work with? I think I saw them. They came in from the league. How much are we getting for that project? Don't know if I still got it.
Or,
The infrastructure.
Oh,
Are we gonna use infrastructure money for this?
yeah, that's that, they call it the BIL funding, the
Yeah.
DOT, the one that just came out. So, so this is the STP urban program.
This?
Yep.
Okay.
Is what you would be applying for, because it does, it is a collector street, that's one of the major requirements.
Okay. Is it possible, I'm asking, if some of that $500,000 is gonna come from the infrastructure project?
Yeah, so this,
Even with applying for an STP grant, will we be able to use the infrastructure money towards this as well? Is that a better way to say it?
For
Or are
this?
they one and the same?
they're basically the same.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So you would be looking at the February solicitation, that app is out there. The due date is first week in June. So it's basically comes down to, does the village wanna proceed with, moving this project forward to at least apply for the funds?
Okay.
Not guarantee you're gonna get it, but at least you put your name in the hat to see if you were to be successful in it.
Thoughts? You guys want to proceed down this path?
So this is in the 5-year plan already.
Yep.
So it's something we're supposed to have done by the end of 2022, so I'd say yeah.
Okay.
I
And
like-
if we do an STP grant, we won't actually be doing this till when?
You have the option that's like 5 years. So it's not like you have to jump on board and do it the following year. There's a lot of timelines that go along with it. I mean, if you remember the Wisconsin
Right.
Street, year and a half, 2 years, just to get
Well, and we
through it.
pushed that one because we wanted 35 done before we did the Wisconsin Street one, and now we're bumping right up against it, right?
I like this project because it's up against the school and
Oh, yeah.
it needs to be done.
Right.
Do we have anything listed for 2023 in the 5-year?
Galahad, Wisconsin Street to Galahad Place North is for 2023. And then, this one didn't actually have a date on the original one from Patrick, but I see it on the previous one. So just the Galahad for 2023.
Okay.
We don't actually have it, our plan doesn't go past 2022. So we need a,
Update.
yeah.
You know what, could you remind us on future agenda to put that on a future agenda? To update that thing?
I actually have that on my notes
Actually
already.
goes to 2026.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which one are you looking at? I don't have a 2026
Is
one.
that
The
the
CIP, the updated,
colored one?
yeah, the one
It's got
that's
the little map on it,
colors on
Mary?
it.
You mean that you just handed out?
No.
No,
No, I think
I don't
we
think I
looked-
have. Tell me where I find that.
We looked at it last fall.
Yeah, I think we looked at it last fall when we were
Yeah.
going
so
over the
we can,
budgets.
I guess I can
It's a map and it shows,
resend it to you.
yeah, why
That
don't
would
we
be
just?
great.
Yeah,
Thank
why
you.
don't
That
send
would
it
be
back
great.
up?
Yep, I can do that.
Definitely do that.
Okay, so back to Monroe Street. Do we want to proceed? If so, I need a motion. Basically, that we're telling Kevin to apply for the STP grant for Monroe Street.
I move that we proceed with the Monroe Street project and applying for the SDP urban program funds. Do we need the estimate of the project? Or the estimate of the village share?
I'd say current estimate.
The current estimate for the project is $1,056,840, of which $485,416 of that is village share. Remainder is Wisconsin DOT.
Second.
Okay, we are not really spending right now, right? So,
We're recommending.
yeah, recommending.
Yep.
All in
Still
favor?
apply.
Aye.
Aye. That one passed.
Patrick, on your 5-year plan that goes starting in 2023, was there anything else other than the Galahad project for 2023?
No, not that I can remember, no.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else, Kevin, on the bipartisan?
Nope,
Okay.
that's it.
That takes us to item 9, which is chair update. And I don't have anything further for you, which takes us to item 10, engineering report.
Yeah, the only thing, just an update on the Wisconsin Street North project. There's a pre-construction meeting scheduled next Monday at 1:30 at the Village Hall. So from there, then we'll get a true idea when A1's looking at starting. And I talked to them 3 weeks ago. They were looking at either April 4th or the 11th start date. But that'll be disclosed for sure next Monday. So it's not too far
Okay, so
off.
April 5th is our election. Just saying. The 11th sounds better to me. But
It may
I don't
be
know
at
about you
this point,
guys.
that's what they're looking
I
at.
mean, just,
Yeah, we shouldn't do it on election day.
yeah, the day before election day. I mean, if you wanted to start the day after election day, I wouldn't care, honestly.
Right.
But election day would be nice to not be tearing up the street just yet.
Okay.
Yep.
So did you say that, is the meeting on Monday a public meeting? Or is this something that the public should be attending, or is this an internal
It's internal, so basically you're meeting with the contractor, the utility companies.
You guys, you
any of
mean?
The subs, yeah, so.
Is that
Patrick-
here?
Yep,
Okay.
it'll be right here.
Can
And
you s-
then will there be something for the public? Or the neighbors? I mean, how are people gonna be
Maybe
informed?
later on, they'll have a public information meeting
Yeah,
thing.
They had a
just
pub-
like the 35 project.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
should, and make sure you bring that up, would you? We want to know when that public information meeting would be, and then we want to get stuff starting to post on the website.
Right.
Could you
And I
send
think
us?
Melissa's gonna come or join us, so she'll
Well,
have that
kinda-
information as well.
So would you mind sending that to this group? That meeting, in case we're in town?
Oh, for the,
If we would just want to listen?
yep.
Sure. Yep.
Okay, and that's it for engineering report?
Yep, that's all I got.
That takes us to number 11, director report.
So,
Want to start with the seal coat?
well, I don't know that we should discuss anything, but I guess that's something that I can't believe I missed that. Would anybody entertain having a short, special meeting so we could get that approved within before the board meeting?
You guys, can you look at your calendars?
I mean, we'd just have that on it, so it wouldn't be very long.
Month. Today's the 22nd. Can you guys meet again the 29th? That should be enough time to get it before the board on
Is there
the,
something on the calendar?
I was just gonna look here.
Wait,
Mary,
the
behind you.
29th, isn't that our special board meeting?
Yeah, I think it
Oh,
was. I
that's
thought it
right.
was.
we've got the board meeting. How
think-
about we meet right before that special board meeting?
Finances.
Yeah.
No, I mean, finance, do you have?
Oh, then we wouldn't get it
finances
on the
meeting.
board meeting. We're doing the April board meeting on the 29th.
Right.
That's right. So I could have
Well-
Melissa put it on the agenda,
Yeah.
I think like we did last time, and then we could discuss it right before, if that works.
But you're having a finance meeting right before,
Right after.
right after? Looks like
Yeah, we would
before.
meet in front of the finance meeting.
Oh, so what
So
time would that be?
We'd go, well, finance starts at 6, so
Okay.
we'd
Oh,
meet at
okay.
5:30.
6:30.
Or
isn't it?
6:30,
Yeah,
6:30.
so if we met
could
at
go-
5:30, it won't take us,
We could go
Yep.
5:30 or 6, because
5
it's
minutes.
just one thing.
Yep.
So let's say 6.
is that, okay, and everybody's okay with that?
You guys okay with
29th?
that?
Yeah.
We're
Yep.
coming up here anyway.
Okay. Sorry about that, I
It's okay.
okay.
can't believe I missed that, so.
What time did you say next Tuesday?
So 6 o'clock,
Okay,
the 29th, we'll need you.
okay.
And you'll have Melissa send something out, or,
Yep, I'll talk to her tomorrow.
okay.
Yep.
So then we don't really need to go into this.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
What else you
It'd
got?
just be time consuming, I guess. I made it back from Florida, so without anyone getting hurt or anything like that, so all is good. I was
Loving the
actually-
truck?
Huh?
Loving the truck?
I was actually pretty impressed. It's even heavier duty than I thought it was. Everything is pretty solid on it. Matt and I have been looking at different things on it and stuff, and it's built really well. And then with that being said, tomorrow at 10 o'clock, our auction ends for the 550. Last that I had checked, it was at $32,225. So, I think we're well on our way, to getting a decent price for that. I have had 2 people come and look at it, one yesterday, one today. Everybody was interested, so I think that's a good thing. And it helps that the price of brand new ones are $120,000, you know? I mean, you can't buy a truck like that all set up for anything less than that, so that I think is gonna be real beneficial to us. So, and we do have, I have 1 applicant so far, but the job opening is posted, just to infinity, I guess, until we get, more. I don't think that's fair to have 1 applicant. We should have a couple, people, you know, so, hopefully that will be fruitful, and then that's all I got, I guess.
I have a question, Patrick,
Yeah.
about the snow plowing contract.
The what?
The snow plow contract,
Yeah.
how long does that contract go through, and do you know about how much is left on that?
I can get the specifics from Nathan, but that one, for whatever reason, always confuses me and it confuses everyone because it doesn't go from January to December. It's the snow plowing season, so it starts in October, the end of October, and goes to, is it April? So, I don't know.
Of
I
this
shouldn't,
year?
I shouldn't
So
speak
like
to it.
next month, like next month?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
could you report on that at our next?
I'll get
Maybe next
specifics.
week, since we're gonna meet next week, maybe that could go on.
Yep. Okay, I can do that.
I'm mostly curious if we're gonna end up paying out for services that we didn't receive.
We will.
No.
Always. And that, we need to, you know what, we really need to discuss that going
Yeah,
into
we
the
do.
next contract, because it's getting pretty consistent that our guys can take care of the streets, and
Or should we just have them do that and
I'm just trying to think
Well,
if we
let's-
could come up with another
use
emergency
it,
measure.
use it, have them. do
Yeah,
some
and we can discuss that, but I think you also, you have to look at the big picture as we've had a pretty mild winter. So
Yeah,
there
we only-
hasn't been a big need.
Only got that one big snow.
We've had, since I've been here, we've averaged losing an employee more
Right.
than once a year.
Right.
So then that's retraining, that's difficult, so I'm gonna not say that we shouldn't, but we should definitely think about everything before making a decision like that.
Yeah, so let's, yeah, if not on next week's agenda, then after,
We certainly can,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, yeah, toss it on the
I'll-
next agenda.
Because there should be enough time. Yep, I will do that.
Do we have a logo on that new truck?
Not yet.
How soon?
As soon as I can get them to print it up and get up there and have them put on.
I'm just wondering if you could pull it in for the 29th meeting and show it off to the,
If I get it done, I can, yep.
to the board. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
cool. Anything else on director's report?
Nope.
All right, that takes us to item 12, discussion topics, future agenda, updates regarding the water service agreement. Anything, Patrick, that you've added to the list, or?
I haven't added anything to the list. I think what I've heard from everyone here and my feeling on it is that list will stay the same because I really didn't get any answers to anything.
Okay.
And I guess we'll just keep going back with those questions until we get answers.
I think that first meeting was people trying to a little
Yeah.
bit understand what the meeting was supposed to
Yep.
accomplish, and even talking to, someone that was in the meeting afterwards, when I spelled out that, our lawyer, their lawyer, everybody thought it would be very good to have better communication between the two municipalities. They felt like that should have been right up front. We should have nailed that point as a big reason for having these quarterly meetings, that we want the communication to do much better than it's done in the past.
Yeah,
It helped that individual understand
Okay.
a little more of the purpose of the meeting.
and I'm trying to think back, I could be wrong, but I think that part of it was discussed in open session when we were going through so that,
He didn't know.
I don't know.
He didn't know,
Okay,
and he was here.
yeah, no,
Okay.
and that could very well be.
So we just want to make sure we nail that next time we have a WSA meeting.
Yeah, and it was, I guess my little bit of frustration with it was that, it was, basically, it felt like they didn't know what the questions were. Those were sent over 2 weeks before the meeting, so there was plenty of time to read them and ask questions of, what we wanted. And I also gave a little, or another sheet with that, kind of explaining, a little explanation behind each question. So they had that stuff, so it was not like I wasn't clear as to what we were asking.
So some of the responses, Patrick, as I recall, were that information's available on the DNR website, or there's some portal that we can get access to?
Some of
to
it, yes.
So have you been able to get in and look at some of those things?
I have not yet. I can go in.
You can now?
I can get in there, yeah. And then I guess I know I don't want to get too deep into this, but some of my response to that is that through the whole process of figuring out this service agreement or whatever it was going to be, it was stated multiple times by the utility that they knew they were going to be taking on extra work and that they were okay with that. And it was said more than once. So we're asking for a little bit more work. I don't see what the problem is, to just get a handwritten sheet or whatever it may be, a field sheet, it doesn't matter, just so we have an information of what's going on and what's being repaired. There's the only other, I guess, now that I'm talking, the only other thing that I had added to our list was they had mentioned that there were 2 fire hydrants that were almost inoperable and that they had been repaired, and then I read through the contract, and that is I was never notified that where they were at, what had to be done, any of that. So I will ask about that in the next meeting, and the next meeting should actually be happening by the end of the month. And I haven't heard anything yet. And I did reach out to Paul Mahler, our attorney, and I asked some questions, about the term, what that's supposed to mean, because that was brought up in the meeting, what's the term, the first month or the first year or whatever, and he hasn't gotten back to me with a response, so I'm waiting, but I did ask those questions, so.
And the GISing, talking about discussion future goals, the GIS, getting everything geolocated of our stuff, and we didn't have resources for that. I wonder if that's something that we'd want to talk about building into the 5-year, whatever next plan we have, or how we can get that funded to get that done.
Yes,
Okay, hang on a sec. That would be under number 14. So this
Right.
is,
Oh, are we still on 13?
we're still on 12.
Sorry. Oh,
WSA.
I thought it was on 13.
So we'll come back to that.
Keep going, sorry.
That's a good question, though. Anything else for Patrick about the WSA agreement?
Yeah, I just have one question. So they did say that our maintenance service wouldn't change, right?
yep,
I believe I heard them say that,
many times.
right? And so, do you feel like they are doing what they're supposed to be doing, or they have a plan to do what you did? I mean, it's winter time, so I get it. Maybe they
Yeah,
don't work as well
it's
in the
tough.
winter time as maybe you did, and maybe they have a better plan for summer. Like, I don't know. Like, I think that's a clarification.
And I
we
don't
maybe
know
should
if
get.
they have a plan,
Well, and did we hear anything back on the flushing that we were asking them to be more careful with how they were doing the flushing?
no, that basically got glossed over, so that will stay on,
Okay.
there,
Do we have the-
I did ask, if you watched the meeting, I did ask about procedures and whatnot, and they really don't have any, and then it was said that their employees have the same training as I do, which I agree with, we all have the same training, so.
Okay, and then the fire hydrant flushing, was that on the last one? And that got brought up?
Wasn't that one of the things that was submitted or was posted someplace? That was,
Probably, but it wasn't completed.
Okay, so we want to make sure we discuss that. I was talking about the flushing of the well, or was it the well they flushed back into our system?
Oh, back flushing,
Back
yes.
flushing.
Yep,
So that was what I was talking about first, and then the hydrant flushing, we want to make sure they're following standard procedures, especially when it comes to grease. Okay,
Do you have records of what you used to do?
yeah,
Maybe you should provide that to them as an example, so that way they know.
Just a
I'm assuming
blank
you may have
sheet.
done that.
they have it.
Okay,
have it,
like this is what I
And
expect.
that's all on my spreadsheets that
Okay.
I gave to them every 2 years.
okay.
Okay,
Well, maybe
Yep.
it didn't flow down the channel?
I can resend it to
The right-
the group on
Well,
my
the people that are
email.
doing the work too. I'm wondering if they got it.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Like, this is what we do, this is what we expect, because this is what was done here previous.
But then you did point out we need one point of contact over there, right? So,
Well, everything should go
right.
through one person, but when I don't know if this is right or not, but when I send an email, it goes to, me, Melissa, Stan, Kip, Aaron Reeves, and the mayor.
Okay.
So, I mean, email etiquette is the to line is who you're sending it to. The CC is just FYI. You're just putting people on there that maybe should know the information, but they don't have to respond. You're really sending it to that one person.
Okay, yep.
So maybe we need to start CCing the operator. Who's the operator?
Jim Fry.
Maybe we should at least CC the operator.
Mhm.
Okay.
Sure.
Anything else on WSA?
No.
All right. That takes us to 13, capital works, equipment, current 2023 budgeting. So I think this is a good place to put your thing in here for budgeting purposes. Let's get our CIP updated, basically. Make sure, and then Patrick, you're gonna send out the little map with Mary's seen it before, I know she has.
I'm
it.
sure I have, I'm sorry.
With what?
The map,
The 2023 to
With- oh, of
2020.
course,
The
yeah.
CIP.
Whatever
No,
it
no,
is.
no, it's fine, yeah, I can send it
Okay,
again, that's not a
great.
problem.
Thank you.
Anything else on budgeting in 2023? We're doing okay on our budget?
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as the GIS, I'll just speak to that a little bit, Mary. Obviously, we're short-staffed, but we'll do our best to try. I'd like to try to get started depending on how the summer goes. And then next year, my plan is to put that money, it got taken out for part-time summer help. So we'll get that back into the budget, and then that way we could hire someone to just do that, or at least get us started. I think that's probably our best
Yeah.
route.
Yeah.
I'd still like to ask the board if we can get, if there's money, if we can get some temp help to even get it started. Because I've talked to a few people that are definitely willing to go walk around and do some of that stuff.
But have they done it?
Nope, you'd have to show them.
Well, that's, yeah, I don't, I don't have time for that. I can't.
What, you couldn't teach me how to do it?
Yes, I could teach you how to do it.
Okay,
There's people smarter than Brian out there.
there really are.
I know, there's not many, but I'm just, yeah.
Got a smile on here, so you all saw that.
Well, I'm just wondering if maybe we could do some flexible things, like use our snowplow money to free up some time to do something like that, or use and have the county do the road stuff and free up somebody to do that. Like, there's some ways that we can kind of flex time around to free you guys up.
I just want to ask them if they can help us with, getting any start on the GIS system, give something,
Hudson
Kevin
said
needs
they
something to do
would.
anyway.
They said, Hudson said that would benefit them, and that's what they said at that meeting, that they'd come and, give some whatever information. I don't know exactly what they said, but
And Kevin
Call-
needs to
call
start
it,
updating
call it.
maps anyway, right?
Ooh, we should ask Cedar Corp. I hear they're pretty good at.
Yeah,
Yep.
We have done it in other communities.
okay. Anything else on budget? Okay,
Well, I do need to budget for a snowplow for the new truck.
a plow for the
Yeah.
truck?
Yeah.
And you want to purchase that by when?
Well, we'll get it next, I'll budget for it next
For
year.
2023?
Yeah.
So you're not planning on plowing with that truck in the fall of this year?
Well, we won't be able to.
So the one that, I thought we were keeping the plow from the old one. No?
Well, we have a plow for the 550, we have a plow for the 1 ton
Okay.
that are pickup plows, but the new pickup that we have doesn't have a mounting bracket or anything on it. It's
Ah.
not set up for the plow,
Okay.
so we'll have to do that whole thing, and we should be okay. It's,
And get a new plow at the same time. So you're saying we need to set it up for holding a plow and also buy a new plow?
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, well, that's definitely a budget item. So that would come up, you know, that should be on your list of things that we want for 2023 budget.
Wish list.
Wish list, yeah. Okay, item 14, discussion, future goals and agenda. Anything else? You guys? Okay, don't forget, April 5th, come out and vote. There's 4 candidates running for this position, for trustee position, and we need you to come and vote. Other than that, is there any other business? Any other business? Then we are adjourned at 6:29.